Yeah, let's do it.
GTA. Will it release this year? I've pondered the question down in that bar, which looks way too big now. Half the stress. Now that I've changed the setup, just done split. Yeah, I have to zoom right back in again, like the old days where you can see the yellow in the teeth. Get all the Americans going saying, can't understand this guy. Oh, he's got British teeth. This guy don't brush his fucking teeth. I do brush my teeth twice a day, every day. But it ain't fucking cosmetically enhanced with fake whiteness. People's teeth are fucking cream. They're cream. Enamel is cream. It ain't fucking white. It's not Ross and Friends. It's not glow in the dark. That is false as fuck. Let me tell you. False. I digress. GTA 16, it's all stemming from a source, I believe, who was quoted on social media. And he's come out and says, I have zero knowledge. He's not much of a fucking key source then, is he? If he's got zero knowledge, why are we listening to this guy? But I'll go to the actual Twitter exchange. Basically, insider Tom Henderson predicts Rockstar Games will drop official GTA 6 news in the next 2 weeks ahead of Take-Two's next earnings call. He goes on to say, for clarity, I said that we could see confirmation of the release date, be that via a new trailer, financial earnings forecasts or whatever. I have zero knowledge if they will. It was nothing more than speculation. Also, source the damn content so people don't take what you're saying at face value. Stephen, I've got to be honest with you. This is, and I totally understand why he's saying this is probably the last opportunity for Rockstar, Take-Two to release anything of promising nature for this fucking game being released this year. If it doesn't come via this earnings call, if we don't get a trailer within the next couple of weeks, this game ain't releasing this year. And then you're like, when the fuck is it going to release? Because you need to cast your mind back to the first trailer. The first trailer wasn't officially released. Someone got access to the content and hacked it and released it into the wild, and then they forced them to put it out officially, or they would still be sitting on that fucking trailer. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know why they're taking so long to announce this. I don't know if it's they want to get it absolutely spot on, because we're in an era of video games and companies releasing video games that are unfinished. And I'm talking AAA companies releasing massive games that cost an absolute bomb, 60, 70, 80 pounds, and they're getting released unfinished. They're a shambles, they're full of bugs, technical issues, certainly on the PC, and it takes patch after patch after patch to bring it up to an acceptable standard. I can't see Rockstar or even Take-Two accepting that. They'll want this game to go out into the wild perfect.
13 GTA 5 did that very thing. They weren't prepared for the online community, and it's very interesting. And I think you're absolutely right. If they're not going to do anything, you know, at this moment, when all this information is released in 2 weeks, and it's not coming out this year. I'll go on record to say that. If they're not putting a trailer out in the next 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks, I don't see this game coming out this year. I think it'll be early next year. But we said that, John. We've covered this topic time and time again, because we're always keeping our eye out for any news on probably one of the most anticipated games ever, I would say. But Rockstar, I don't know what they're at in terms of getting things right before they announce anything. It just reeks to me that they love the smell of their own farts, and that they want to just all be in a room together, all these people that work for them, and congratulate each other once they do finally release it. Just get the fucking trailer out. It must be near enough ready. I mean, you had that teaser trailer almost about 18 months ago now, or whatever it was, and it looked fantastic. You can't say to me between then and now there hasn't been more development in terms of the graphics and the storyboards and the animation and stuff like that they couldn't put out an official trailer. What is it they're waiting for? They don't even have to put out a fucking trailer to promote this film, this game. They don't have to put anything out. People are on board because they love the franchise, they love the game, and they know what to expect from it as well. It's not going to be a letdown in any sense. I can guarantee you that.
the issue that they face, though, Stephen, is that there is so much expectation on this release that people will be expecting visual innovation, gameplay innovation, story innovation. They will be expecting so much from this game if they don't deliver it. And this is the rod they've made for their own back, because if they keep leaving things and it's over a decade, that anticipation just builds. And it's not just fucking GTA, it's Red Dead Redemption. You seen what they accomplished in that game, the second one. In world, it was evolving as the story was going. There was people almost living their own lives. Visually, it was fucking stunning. It stands up to this day. People have seen what they've accomplished, and they will be expecting that on steroids for GTA 6. So there is a lot of pressure.
But they need to draw a line. They need to just say, this is it. This is the trailer. This is going out. It's going out on this date. And this game is going to get fucking released on this date. They need to stop this. It's just dragging on and on and on.
You think they're paralysed, Stephen?
They want to get it right. And obviously you've got to wait for the next gen, consoles, etc. Because it is console based. We covered, obviously, there's going to be a delay in the PC version, like there always is. So they're always focusing on the console. And we're at the stage where the next gen consoles are out there, and they'll be able to handle, obviously, the expectations. So there's no reason other than, I don't know, they're not ready, because that trailer shouldn't have went out when it did. As you said, they've been forced to release some form of trailer because they had no other choice. But I just think 18 months or whatever it was down the line since that trailer came out, it just pisses people off more than anything, doesn't it? Yeah. And there's no entitlement or anything. I think you look at that game when it came out, it's been 12 years since the last game, the last GTA game. And it was such a success. And that was on Xbox 360. The 360 was still the thing at that point for Microsoft. So that's how long we've been waiting. And these games, you can only put out the best version that you can put out. But as you said, John, as the game's released and the months roll merrily forward, they can iron out little things. But I don't think it's going to be a cluster F of a game. I think it's going to be monumental, because it's probably going to be the last GTA game. I don't think they're going to do many more after it.
I mean, there's so much work goes into it, and it takes so long. I mean, fucking hell, man, I'll be like fucking 50 by the time the next one comes out, which is wild. I mean, how long? What sort of gap we're talking? GTA 5 initially came out 2013, 12 years ago. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you add that on just now, I'm fucking 48. Next one.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
My age, yeah.
Fucking mental. Yeah. And you'll be 60, Stephen.
Yeah, I'll probably still be playing games at that point.
I'll still be playing games when I'm 60. Fucking right, I'll never stop playing video games. All this bollocks. I get fed this shite my entire childhood, getting into my adult life about how games are bad for you, this and that. Well, they aren't, because my fucking reactions in my mid-30s are like 0.5 of a second, quicker than a fucking blink of an eye. That's because I played video games. It keeps you sharp, it keeps you mentally sharp, it keeps you physically sharp. Don't listen to it. It's bollocks.
You also had a grandfather who played the Commodore 64 into his 60s, so there you are.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's about enjoyment. If you enjoy playing games, then play games. Doesn't matter how old you are. I mean, unless you're playing competitively online, in which case it probably does matter. Because once you start getting into your 60s, you're not competing with an 18-year-old. I'm clinging on barely.
What you've got to ask is, and you're asking the question, will GTA 6 release this year? Here's the question I'm going to ask you. Do you think there'll be a trailer in 2 weeks' time?
No, absolutely
That's
not.
the answer to that, then.
And then the next earnings call is August, at which point it would be like what was the name? They released Oblivion remastered, and it was almost like, not a blind release, but it was like I can't recall what the terminology was they were using. They basically just put it out into the wild without warning. They're not going to do that with GTA. I'm looking at the previous 4 GTA games as release date. GTA 5, 2013, 17th of September. GTA 4, that was the one outlier, 29th of April 2008. GTA 3 and Vice City, 29th of October and 22nd of October 2001 and 2002. So they're usually the end of the year, October, September. So it's possible they could still release it. And like you said, you don't really need much promotion for this. This sells itself. This one will make billions upon billions upon billions when it comes out, because the anticipation, just from the brand, it's the equivalent of, I don't even know a fucking example in film. It's not even like Tarantino or Nolan releasing a film, because it's bigger than that.
Yeah. I think, John, in terms of something we were talking about not long ago, Revenge of the Sith, the trailer for that when it came out was massive. Let's be honest. You think back to 2005 when that trailer came out for Revenge of the Sith, because that was the connective film between the prequels and the original trilogy, and the anticipation for that. So I would put it on sort of the same sort of level as that. This is massive, this game, and the trailer for it is going to be massive as well. It's going to be I think it's going to be one of the most watched game trailers ever, in the history of YouTube. When that hits YouTube, it's going to just blow up the internet.
Yeah, just talking about Revenge of the Sith very, very briefly. Apparently, it's taken in an fucking hell, I can't even speak. Estimated $42.2 million at the worldwide box office in this re-release already, 1 weekend. $42.2 million. That's fucking crazy. I mean, it's number. I don't know where it is in the box office, but it's just great, Stephen. I was watching Star Wars Theory. I know he gets a lot of shit, but I think he's just a passionate fan of Star Wars, and George's Star Wars in particular. I personally quite like his content. If you don't like something, you should be free to say you don't like it without people attacking you. But he rightly says, look, people of my generation, and I'm, I think, a year older than them, who were brought up around the prequels. I'm not saying I'm the biggest fan of the prequels, but I don't think they're anywhere near as bad as the sequel trilogy. They're now coming to a certain age, and you're seeing the appreciation and the outpouring of love to the actors like Hayden Christensen, and obviously Samuel Jackson appeared at the, I can't remember the name of the theatre in LA, it's a historic theatre. They turned up at one of the screenings and done like an impromptu speech at the start. It's just great to see these people finally being appreciated, because look, Hayden got a lot of shit back in the day. I think a lot of it was unjustified. It wasn't his fucking fault. The dialogue was clunky. Again,
it's public perception as well, and where it's placed in history, in the history of film. And I was watching Mark Kermode, and I'm blanking on it. What was his name? Mayo.
Yeah.
Is that his sidekick that do the film reviews?
Yeah. Mark Kermode's fucking great. Yeah.
He was talking about his initial review and how he said it's not Simon the worst film he saw, but it's not great either. But he was talking about obviously the re-release, and he was talking about his son, who was just a kid when it first came out, and his son said something very interesting to him. He says, "Dad, when that film came out, you were part of the original trilogy fan base, but these films were meant for my generation.
Yeah.
But we had the pressure of the generation before, i.e. you, Dad, of saying how bad these films were in comparison to the original. So there was an unfair sort of judgment on the prequels at the time. Yes, of course, the dialogue was clunky. Some of the visual effects were poor, particularly in Attack of the Clones, but there was a story there. There was a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it led into those original.
Some great characters, iconic characters.
Great actors.
Count Dooku, Christopher Lee, fucking brilliant character. One of my favourite characters in all of Star Wars. Just his dueling technique, the way that he spoke, just an incredible. One of my favourite scenes in Star Wars, I think it's Attack of the Clones at the end, when he defeats Anakin, and obviously Obi-Wan, and he goes onto that ship and goes back to Coruscant to speak to the Emperor. The music, Williams scoring, just a brilliant character. It was a pleasure to see that guy in that Star Wars film.
His interactions with Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan was fantastic, and on Geonosis, I think it was. Yeah. Oh my God, they've gone too far this time. Yeah, it's a fantastic line, and just his presence. He was doing Lord of the Rings simultaneously, wasn't he, at the same time?
And he's fucking 70s or something at the time, 80s, which is crazy. Steve, I've been going down a rabbit hole with the prequels. I've found a new appreciation for them. The sort of lightsaber battles are fucking brilliant. There's a video I was watching, it's like a 4K remastered Duel of Fates. Some of it's a bit cheesy, but the fucking choreography and the music and just it's brilliant. Absolutely superb.
I've got an idea. I've got an idea for our next podcast. It's going to be something along those lines. The Star Wars prequels revisited.
Yeah.
We did the reviews, John, when we first started their YouTube channel back in the day. 7 Days of Star Wars, or what the fuck we called it. And
For that.
we reviewed all Star Wars films.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting to re-listen to those. I think they were actually audio, weren't they?
I always rated Revenge of the Sith higher than the other two. I think Phantom Menace I rated above Attack of the Clones. But Revenge of the Sith, I maintain, is in the conversation with the originals. It's not as good as Empire Strikes Back or A New Hope, but it's certainly in and about Return of the Jedi. No danger. There's people of that original trilogy era that like to forget some of the absolute fucking cheddar cheese that emitted out of that Return of the Jedi film. There was some fucking... I've got a legion of my best troops down in the Forest Moon. You'll find this stuff quite operational. Best fucking troops. Really? Really, Sheaf? They get defeated by fucking teddy bears? Come on, man. Come on. You're not going to seriously tell me that's any worse than the Revenge of the Sith? Fuck off. No way. Best legion. Legion of my best troops. Fucking Ewoks. Jesus Christ, George. So no, I mean, I've always rated Revenge of the Sith quite high. Stephen, I've seen it in the theatres, man. I know the Mustafar stuff, some of the choreography, like them like swiping and not hitting, but there's like backstory and lore into why that is the case. Their styles are so similar.
I don't understand why they didn't put Kashyyyk in there.
Stephen missed it. Stephen went to the toilet, came back and missed the whole Kashyyyk fucking sequence. Yeah. There's some cheesy moments in the prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
But in the main, I think their legacies will be far, far better than the sequel trilogy and what Disney's produced, which is ironic, because Max von Sydow famously said this will begin to make things right, really. Well, it didn't, to quote George.